What's up, everybody? Welcome to MyDunnLife, and this is where I take you on my adventures on two wheels. Today we're just going for a leisure ride. It is a beautiful Thursday afternoon. It is around 85 degrees, something like that, I think. And couldn't ask for a better day to ride. I'm actually wearing my thin jacket because it is plenty warm. And just looking to enjoy the day. Wasn't really sure I'd motovlog, but I figured I'd talk a little bit. Trying out some new shocks. Wow, it is so different. So I just procured a set of 2016 Road Glide Special air shocks, and surprisingly enough, they were bolt-on for the most part. I had to take one washer. Otherwise, I used the same spacers and everything that I had on the Progressive 412s that the bike came with when I bought it. I should have downshifted another gear, but oh well, we'll make it work. And so I apologize if this is pretty windy. There's a nice breeze going. So yeah, so I bought a set of 2016 Road Glide Specials air shocks. They're the 12-inch model, and I currently have them around 10 pounds of pressure. And I say around because I ran into a little issue when I was checking the pressure today. I put it just a pound or two in, and went to try to take a few pounds out, and the Schrader valve is sticking for some reason in a certain way that it won't let me take any more air out. It kind of did a little bit, so I had it up to about 10 or 12 pounds, and I was trying to shoot for 8 or 9. I originally had 7 pounds in it, and it felt pretty good at 7 pounds. I was just trying to, you know, fumble around the air pressures a little bit to see what I actually like. I feel like this might be just a smidge too much, so I may, as soon as I get the Schrader valve removed and probably replaced, I will probably put it back down to 7 or 8 pounds that I had when I first tested the bike out. Otherwise, it's actually doing pretty nicely. It's firm and compliant, but as far as like the big bumps, I'm not feeling it. And it's really making it for a make this thing a much better ride. It definitely does not nosedive quite as badly as it used to. To be honest, I think on the Progressives, I had them about halfway on the preload. But I don't think that was quite enough. I really think I probably should have had them up another notch at least. But I only had 2 notches left. I had 4 adjustments that I could make. And see, that's not too bad. I actually feel a lot more in the front than I do the back. And you know, I'm really trying to prep this bike for the trip that I want to take, hopefully in July. And tomorrow I start my new swing shift. What I mean by swing shift is I'm doing a 3-3, 312 nights one week and 312 days a different week. So getting ready to do my first mid, well, I say day, but it's more like mid shift. And so I'm not sure how I'm gonna like it, but it is what it is. I will say with these, the progressives, I think were about 11-inch shock. I could be wrong on that exact number. I sort of measured them, and I think if you cranked them all the way up, they might have been they could have been a 12. But about where I had them, I think it was 11, 10.5, 11, and you know, I'm definitely standing up a little more than I used to. With these shocks, and even when I had a few pounds less air pressure in them, it was still they were still taller than the progressives. And you know, and I really looking forward to, you know, and I've been looking at doing this shock mod for quite a while, and I was really nervous not only about spending the money, but I was really nervous about whether or not these shocks would fit. And you know, and I'm glad to see that they do. I will say it doesn't give much clearance between the belt guard and the shock, but it's just enough that it should be fine. I'm gonna keep an eye on that just to make sure, but it seems like it's got enough room. And been trying to bounce up and down to really try to set these shocks in. I don't think the owner. I don't know what he upgraded to. Unfortunately, I wasn't the one that picked him up. I had Nash go pick him up for me from a dude out of town. And when I saw him, it was, you know, $100 for a setup of 2016. And I know for many years I didn't change the shocks, so I knew if it was going to fit, that, you know, I would be fine. But again, like I said, I wasn't 100% sure. I wasn't sure these were going to fit. About the oldest I've seen this mod done to has been like a 2005, and this is a 2000. So like I said, I hadn't seen one this old done with this mod. And I will say, if you're riding a Sportster, but you're not liking the shocks, these are worthwhile, I think, as an upgrade. You can find a decent used set. I will say, and here's going to be big. Holy crap, that was, wow, that was so nice. I almost can't believe it. I literally didn't feel it. And I figure once I put some upgraded fork oil in the front, I will. I think it'll pretty well solve most of my problems. I'm gonna wait for this to. That's what I figured. And But yeah, I mean, I can't complain, especially for the money. And like I said, these things look like they had almost no miles on them. You know, not only is going to make it a little bit better if my wife ever does ride two up with me, because the progressives kind of wanted to bottom out, and so that these I shouldn't have a problem. I mean, hell, like I said, I'm running these between like 7 and 10 psi, and I can run them up to 50 if I need to. And obviously, a Sportster is much lighter than a Straight Glide or Road King. Crosswind's a little strong. Yeah, I won't lie. I'm definitely liking this upgrade. Like I said, it's firm, but it's compliant. It definitely helps keep throwing shocks into my back. And the progressives, don't get me wrong, the progressives weren't bad, but the progressives were really made for a guy that's probably under 200 pounds. They're really not meant for a guy like me who's like more like 250. And you know, my wife, I will say, is more than 100 pounds. So, you know, if she happens to be on the bike, it's definitely, they definitely was taxing probably the weight limit of those progressive 412s, and they were not I don't believe they were the heavy duties. So, well, you know, it'd been fine for someone like Nash riding. I don't think it would have worked out very well in the long term for me. And I'll be honest, those are the shocks that came on the bike, and I've had this bike, I ain't going on 7 years now, and to be honest, I really can't complain. This bike has done me well. You know, I've put several thousand miles on it, even though, to be honest, it doesn't feel like it feels like I've put a lot of miles on this thing and no miles on this thing. You know, based on what I recall me riding, and based on, you know, the actual miles that I have on the bike. I need to pull up the title though and actually take a look and see what the miles was when I bought it. You know, and some might say, well, you know, you got that digital dash and the speedometer, or the trip or the odometer may not be correct. And I will say, when I bought the bike, the miles was a little bit higher than what was previously stated on the title. When you know, when I looked at it and matched the miles up, but it wasn't ridiculously more or off. And based on the miles, when I went in and had the title done, you know, it was based off the miles that was on this set of digital gauges. So whatever it is will be correct. Will be the correct number of miles I have ridden in the 7 years. Now, there has been a couple of years where I barely put 500 miles on the bike. I know for a fact. It was 1 year I know I put less than 500. I had actually hurt my back, and it was one of those situations, like, we had a really, really rainy first part, like kind of a certain way that we've had this season. It rained almost non-stop. All the way, at that time it was like late June, and then the end of July, when I hurt myself, it had just started to get better, and taking these turns a little nervously because I'm still kind of getting used to the feel of the bike. I'll be honest, it kind of leans over a little easier than it used to. So I'm kind of appreciating that, because when I cranked up the progressives the last time, it made the lean over a little stiffer, which I got used to, but now I'm gonna have to kind of get used to it being a little lighter. But yeah, like I said, I've had this bike, like I said, about 7 years now. In fact, I bought it right after I switched jobs to what I'm doing now. I literally took part of my retirement cash out, or I took most of my cash out for retirement, and I paid cash for the bike. At the time, I was given the option. I could have went and actually put, and did a down payment on something newer. And I won't lie, I kind of wish I had. I wish I had shot for, like I said, an 05 or newer. Just because it would have opened up a lot of options for me as far as accessories. This bike's kind of in between. There is plenty of accessories for this bike, but there's a few that that you have to get a little bit newer. They changed just a few things, and definitely, changed what I could do. It's good to see the farmers out with the visor. They're getting a real late start to this season because of all the rain. And it's kind of the nice part of where I live. I wish I lived just a little further outside of town, because there is some beautiful property just about 10 minutes away from where I live. It kind of reminds me of home. I won't lie, I would say if we were ever in a position where we decided we're gonna, buy another house, I think it would be a situation where this is kind of the area I'd want to kind of shoot for. See the soybeans, or is that alfalfa? That might be alfalfa. Yeah, I think it is. That doesn't look like soybean. Nice little cabin style house. Looks like it needs a little stain work though. I will say, if this truck is purposely the one following this tractor, he really should have his hazards on. Yeah, I do have some vehicles behind me. I am going to turn whatever which way he is not. But yeah, like I said, I am definitely enjoying. Good, that's what I want to go right. It's kind of the way I was hoping. And I am just going to wheeze on out. Like a noob. But anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end this one. I'll put some more miles down and I'll give my review on these shots. Like I said, at least as far as early impressions, it is pretty much a bolt-in mod. And if you're, if you got a Sportster and you're looking to add a little more comfort, I think they're worth it. But make sure you like and subscribe. Have everybody have a great day, have a great week, and we'll catch you in the next video.